Scared me too.
I'm the only one who jumped.
You ready to go? Hey, Planning and Zoning Commission, called to open at 5:32. So we're open the public hearing. First, item, for the hearing is conduct a public hearing regarding amending. Beg your
Sorry,
pardon.
with the minutes.
Okay, I apologize, sorry.
Okay, no worries.
Forgive me. Okay, if I can I get a motion for approval of minutes, from February 2nd's meeting, 2026, as presented? So that. Okay. Can I get a vote on? Everybody, approve? Aye. Aye. All in favor, aye, and no. Okay. Okay, first item on the public hearing. Conduct a public hearing regarding amending table 12, light industrial manufacturing uses. Section 7.e, using tables of chapter 22 zoning of the Breckenridge Code of the ordinances to add wind turbine recycling facility as a permissible use in property zoned in the industrial park I in the district.
There's no speakers for that item.
Okay, so we'll close that portion of the public hearing and note the time at 5:34. The next item for public hearing is conduct a public hearing.
Go ahead and call the time on that too.
Okay, I apologize. We've got a lot of things on that. So we're gonna open that, second item, opening up at 5:35. Conduct a public hearing regarding amending table 2 of the residential uses in section 7.e, uses tables of chapter 22 of the zoning of the Breckenridge Code of Ordinances to allow manufactured homes in certain single-family residential zoning districts with a conditional use permit.
There's no speakers for that item.
Okay, if there's no speakers for that item, we're gonna close that portion at 5:36. We're gonna open the next item up at 5:36. Conduct a public hearing regarding request for a conditional use permit for a manufactured home on property known as 309 Dallas, zoned as single-family residential, SF 7.5. If the amendment to the zoning ordinance amending table 2, residential uses, section 7.e, uses table of chapter 22 zoning is approved.
There's no speakers.
With no speakers, we will close this portion at 5:37. Our final thing on the public hearing, we'll open it at 5:37. Conduct a public hearing regarding amending chapter 22 of the zoning of the Breckenridge Code of Ordinances by amending table 8, general business retail uses to add vape shops as a use which is prohibited in all zoning districts, and amending section 30 under definitions to establish a definition for vape shops.
There is no speakers.
With no speakers, we will close this at 5:38. So we're going to close the public hearing at 5:38. Okay, now on to our scheduled agenda items. Number 6 on the agenda is discussion of any necessary action regarding a recommendation to the city commission regarding a proposed amendment to chapter 22 of the zoning of the Breckenridge Code of Ordinances to add wind turbine recycling facility as a permissible use in industrial I as indicated in the zoning district.
Members,
you have your background information. I mean, this one, right now, what you're doing with this agenda item is establishing a use and adding wind turbine recycling facility as a permissible use in property zone industrial. So the purpose of the request is to allow the development and operation of a facility that's focused on the processing and recycling of the end-of-life wind turbine blades and related wind energy components, along with the operation of a concrete batch plant that will utilize processed wind turbine blade material as an aggregate or supplemental material in concrete production. Manufacturing operation is projected to promote sustainable industrial development, economic growth, specifically create jobs, increase our tax base, support recycled and beneficial reuse of difficult to dispose composite material, and to advance environmentally responsible manufacturing practices. What I would remind you in our use, this is our use chart that is part of our zoning. And so what you're adding is, and it's in your background information, you're adding that category, yeah, right there on the screen, thank you. Wind turbine recycling facility as a permissible use in industrial. So specifically, the requester is here today, Mr. Rob.
Ms. Catelli.
Okay, I'm sorry, and I knew I'd probably butcher that when I talked to you earlier. So this property and so he's here, you know, to speak on his own behalf, but I will point to, do we have the map up there? There should be a site map. Yeah, well, this is up on the industrial loop, on the south side. I thought we had, you know,
recycling plant.
there. So, it's, right now, it's not in use, so we would be taking a property in the industrial area and putting it in use. Do you want to? Actually, that.
Where you gonna move?
No, so I mean, face in the way. It needs to be faced this way.
Shall we get it far enough? Yeah, nice close to the person. I was gonna say.
My fault, I did onboarding this morning.
So I'll let Rob speak on his behalf while we're playing.
Sure. Yeah, so nice to meet you. I'm sorry I didn't shake your guys' hands to walk in. I'm Rob Piscatelli. I'm an owner operator of Cutting Wind. We currently operate facilities just outside my hometown of Buffalo, New York. Our main facility is just north of Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Then we have another processing site at that customer's location just outside of Tulsa, Oklahoma. So we're targeting this area. We've developed some new technology where our processed material can go into the concrete world. Obviously, no secret, Dallas, where we're at the surrounding areas, you know, booming with that. So we really like this area as an off taker for our finished product. And then as well, you know, just inbound material, there's obviously plenty of turbines in this area as well. So strategically, we like it for both inbound and outbound material. My background is in metal recycling, and with my partners, we're torch cutting and end-of-life aircraft shredding. So we've been in business for about 4 years now. But combined, we have 75 years of experience disassembling, you know, heavy, big things that are meant to last a long time. The biggest thing I want to stress about our operations, you know, people get nervous about the blades, and for good reason. The previous companies before us, and honestly kind of what inspired us to get into business was, you know, these recyclers or bad actors came into play, said they had a theory, they took in all these blades, they were paid when they took the blades in to be recycled. They never did anything, they disappeared, and there's lawsuits that are, you know, public and not too far from here in Sweetwater. Our business model, we do not get paid a cent until we prove we've done what we said we were gonna do, and the material leaves our facility to the end destination. So we have absolutely no incentive to bring material in and stockpile it. That would just be a property that we own in this case with then a liability sitting there. So, you know, our whole business model is set up on scalability and repeatability. The first couple of years, you know, our business is focused on how do we get more business, we want more blades in. In the last 18 months, you know, as an owner of the company, if you asked me 4 years ago would I ever turn down work, we'd say no, but we don't take on stuff that we know we can't have an outlet for, and we, you know, expanded our outlet, or exhausted our outlets in the Northeast and Midwest. So we really let capabilities of the Texas, panhandle area for our products. So I don't know if there's any questions or how, I just gotta talk to you.
Things I would, there may be other questions, but one of the things I would tell the commissioners, I mean, what you're looking at is this appropriate use for the industrial area? And that's that, I mean, you may have some other questions. Primary question is this an appropriate use for our industrial area to add as a permissible use?
What's the environmental impact of the shredding that you guys are gonna be doing? Is that gonna be contained where it's gonna go into this facility to hold it?
Yep, so everything's contained within the site. We've already had some meetings with small business and local health assistance with TCEQ, as well as the Regional Air Permit Office Division out of Austin, I believe they are. So we actually were pretty proud of this. In Iowa, that was one of our first facilities. We actually helped write some pretty intense regulations on, what this should be. Any other industries, TCEQ, other states, they've monitored and, tested these businesses for 100 years, but this is a new industry, so it really doesn't exist. So we set the bar really high. We have calculations down to the dust emission from trucks entering and leaving the site. We have really good dust suppression. We really like the site on industrial because it does have plenty of indoor space as well. So our shredded final material, that's where the finest material is. All that would be contained indoors and, hit with water dust suppression as well. So there would be nothing leaving the site as far as that. We do use water for dust suppression, so then we would have a stormwater pollution prevention plan in place as well with protective, everything around the border as well. So with TCQ and kind of just personal, we would ensure that nothing leaves the site.
Okay, so how during the process, because you're saying whenever the blades are cut, water is applied.
Yep.
When they're grounded, water is applied again. You put them on tray. So how many gallons are we talking about?
We use about 40 gallons an hour when we're using, running full tilt.
And that water comes from where? Our lake?
So it'd be city water at this site, I believe. So I don't know the final. source
Yeah, I
of
mean,
that.
it's gonna be from us. But we've looked at the amount that they're using and they're not even taking us close to where our allocation is, if that's what your concern is.
Yeah, it's not significant. We atomize the water, so we're not spraying heavy amounts. We're actually like doing tiny little droplets. That way it adheres to the tiny little dust particles as well. So it only takes, a lot less water than you would think to get through the high pressure atomizer to successfully do what we needed to do.
Yeah, but with spillage and evaporation. So, okay.
So the other companies that have been in Texas, seemed like their yard was bigger than this yard here.
Yeah,
Well, it was drastically
tractors are
bigger.
bigger.
So is that big enough for you to even do that?
It is, yeah, again, because our business model is we're continually processing as it comes in and comes out, so we don't need massive storage area for backlogs and material. This is about the same size facility as we operate at the others. Our goal is, again, 30 days, anything in and out. So we have enough storage for, when we get significant trucks in one day where we can't keep up on the outbound, but as a whole, the facility, it mirrors our others and we're very happy with the size.
And how many jobs will be available?
It'd be like 6 to 10, 6 initially, and then once we get more in the concrete, that would be an add-on, and that would be an additional 5 more employees.
And that's an ongoing.
It would be ongoing, that's the plan.
How many of those would be local employees versus you bringing somebody in?
I'd hope it'd be all local.
Okay.
We, maybe at the beginning, we bring in one manager. But again, I don't have 6 to 10 employees right now. This would be a growth for us, so we would want to hire local. Where what we've done in the other areas, what seems to work is these are similar skill and type positions to, oil field or other people that are storm chasing or on the road. So it's actually nice that you find someone that typically works on the road to have a stable job at their hometown or, closer to home is been a nice thing that's worked well for us.
And would Breckenridge be a long-term for your company?
It would be, yeah. So we are buying this, we would intend to buy this property.
And have you talked to the EDC or are they involved in any of this?
No,
No, yeah, this would all
And they
be,
don't own it, so, but, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, so you say, 6 to 10 local employees.
Yep.
So you would train somebody to operate this, or you bring people in to operate it?
We would train people, so we'd obviously have people at the beginning show the ropes, or my partner Nick, who's more on the operations side, would, be here for several months. But everyone we've hired, it's not an industry you can poach from because it doesn't exist, so we're just looking for people that can, run an excavator, run a payloader, pretty common skills, and then teach them, how we material handle.
That was my next question. What kind of skill level are you gonna be looking for to kind of explain that?
Yeah, I would say, 3/4 of those are operator positions. So a typical facility is like one working manager, and then you have, 3 to 4 machine operators, and then 1 to 2 laborers who are maybe just running a skid steer, or maybe just, using brooms and, assisting with trucks and stuff like that.
What guarantee do we have that, other than your word, that this isn't gonna end up to be a Sweetwater?
We can put a bond on the property. Sometimes we do performance bonds for our customers. They ask for that. But again, also we have actually no incentive
Well,
to. take
And
care of it.
at this point, that's not what this meeting is about.
Thank you. I just don't wanna see it happen, be a graveyard for blades.
What else you have for us? Anything else you'd like to share with us?
If you want, I can kind of walk you through the site plan, just kind of high level, we put over, Google Earth here. So there's already, like I mentioned, there's good infrastructure already on the site, at truck scale, which is great. Everything we do is based on weight. So we charge on weight inbound, and then, we pay or, invoice off the material we ship outbound. The larger building in the front is where we envision actually doing the concrete operation. The structure in the back is, that's a nice roof, actually, just a brand new roof, so that would be really good. There's, water protection, and it's enclosed on the sides, but it's open on one front. So the wind, from what we've seen, predominantly blows from the back of the property toward the front. Again, we're gonna do most of all of our processing will be in the back. So again, if a wind, it'll be something we're mitigating, but we're doing it as close to our side of the property, so if anything gets blown, it hits the rest of our property, doesn't go across the street. And again, the layout here is very similar to what we've done at other sites. The saw cutting, what we do actually produces the most fines and dust. So what we do, we have a designated area, we actually will cut it out and we put in a certified landfill liner, and then we put wood blocks on top of that. So we're doing our cutting basically on a pit that then's filled in with wood, and then as needed, we can pump out that pit to a proper wastewater disposal place.
Any more questions?
I do have a couple of questions that I got. So my question is for you, what is this, so this meeting, what is it for then if it's not for that?
It's to determine whether or not this site is compatible for an industrial
Okay,
use.
good.
And should we add this to our use chart?
I see.
Which is an industrial.
So I hated whenever these things used to come through town. I just hated it with passion.
Yeah.
So the traffic that you're gonna bring into Breckenridge and those things, I'm sure you've already looked into which path you're gonna come through. Just.
Yeah, and you probably saw, you're talking about intact full blades.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so ours, there's some initial field work already done before they come to us, either by us or by our customers. So everything comes into us in legal truckloads. As you can imagine, transporting that 150-foot blade is very time consuming and costly and a pain for local residents. So, it's at the site, usually 2 cuts are made, and then like stacking dolls, you kind of put this skinnier part into the fatter part. There were some pictures provided. I don't know if they made the presentation.
I think so. 48, 53.
Yeah, so everything comes in legal truckload, either on a flatbed or sometimes they even just in like a dump trailer that would deliver rock or something. So no traffic concerns. We would be on a busy day, 6 to 10 inbound trucks. And that would be then 2 to 3 outbound trucks.
Any more questions? If there's no other questions, can I get a motion to move to approve recommending approval of the ordinance 2026-11 amending chapter 2 of the zoning as presented? Need a motion. Motion to approve has been accepted. All in favor? Thank you,
All right,
sir.
thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir, for your comment. Okay, the second item. Discussion and any necessary action regarding a recommendation to the city commission regarding a proposed amendment to chapter 22 of the zoning of the Breckenridge Code of Ordinances to add manufactured homes as a permissible use with a condition use permit in certain additional residential zoning districts.
Okay, so commissioners, there's two related actions tonight. So the first one is, whether or not you want to add, the ability to ask for a conditional use permit for a manufactured home to be located on single family 7.5. So that's the first action item before you tonight. So, as you know, we've had a lot of discussion. We took 2 years to update our zoning ordinance, implementing best practices by updating the zoning classifications for like uses. For example, we had R4 that incorporated mixed uses, including stick-built homes, single-family homes, and manufactured homes. So we removed the manufactured homes from single-family zoning and kept it in its own zoning category. So while on our zoning chart, while there's still, remember, when we changed the zoning, that's what the zoning is for that time forward. For us to actually look like that is gonna take a moment, especially when we've already had mixed uses. So just as a reminder, and I know we had at least 3 meetings, I think, with you all on this, but if you go back to the map, the manufactured is up in the upper northwest quadrant there. That whole area that come down from the brown there, that's pink, I mean, that whole area was R4. So again, it was mixed, and what we did was shrink it back, mobile home, to what you see there, and then the rest was, that's actually single family 6, which is, remember, the numbers are the size of the lot. So you're gonna have in that in those areas where it was R4, which this area that we're gonna be talking about was R4 as well, you're gonna have mixed uses. But again, so when you're doing this, and I will go to that next one, yeah, we talked with the numbers, okay, so we talked about this a lot. Remember, option 1 is what you went with, city commissioners went with. Existing manufactured homes were at 236, and option 1 actually increased it by 60 lots, allowing 60 more lots for manufactured homes to 296. Again, if you approve the manufactured homes in additional zoning districts with a conditional use permit, the city would be allowing for more manufactured homes than originally contemplated in recent comprehensive development plan. However, by requiring a conditional use permit for the manufactured homes in those districts, planning and zoning commission and the city commission would have some control over when a manufactured home is placed in the area. So allowing a manufactured home via conditional use permit would be preferable versus changing the zoning. Should you all determine that you want to add this use. So again, tonight, this agenda item is, do you want to add a conditional use permit for manufactured homes in single family 7.5? That's the question before you. And then there'll be another action item, and I'll go into more detail about criteria, if that's something you want to do.
You define conditional use, what you mean by that?
You have it in your background. So conditional use permit basically allows the property owner to use it to put a manufactured home on that property while they own the property.
And then if they sell it,
If they sell it, then that conditional use permit goes away.
Kind of difficult.
Huh?
When was that property purchased, you know? The one we're talking about? It's kind
Well,
of difficult because we just put this in place. So, I mean, there was a mobile home there, right?
Was there a mobile home there?
Yes,
uh,
yes, there was.
okay, there was. I don't know. I mean, right now, again, we're gonna probably get into more of those questions on the next
Okay,
item.
right.
This is just a conditional use.
If you want to allow a conditional use for 7.5. Now, the thing I would remind you is if you do, I mean, you need to know that, I mean, you may have other people coming and asking for that. So then when we get to the next item, there are criteria in our zoning ordinance that you would judge everything by. Do they meet this criteria? And I'll get into that, more of that in the next
So
item.
if we accept this conditional use permit, excuse my ignorance, but I just want to be clear. When we accept this, you can refine what conditional use permit is if it comes before us again, like acreage. On a,
Well, then you will look at the criteria, and that's in our ordinance, and you will make your decision based on that criteria.
Okay.
That's in our ordinance.
So at this time, we're just moving to approve recommended approval of ordinance 2026-12, amending chapter 22 zoning as permitted for conditional use permit. So if I can get a motion from someone and a second, I greatly appreciate it.
I would make that motion to approve it.
Thank you, Les.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, the next item. Discussion of any necessary action regarding a recommendation to the city commission regarding a conditional use permit for placement of a manufactured home on property known as 309 North Dallas, which is in a single family residential S5 7.5 zoning district.
Okay, so now you have an action item where you have somebody that is asking for this conditional use permit. And so if you look in your background information, again, you'll have that information, but, and Will Thompson is here, he's the petitioner, so I'll let him speak in a minute, but, the criteria that you're looking at, and this is pursuant to Article 3, Section 24 of the zoning ordinance, the following factors must be considered when determining whether to grant a conditional use permit. So that the establishment, and there's 6 criteria, so that the establishment, maintenance, or operation of the conditional use will not be material detrimental to or endanger the public health, safety, morals, or general welfare, that the uses, values, and enjoyment of other property in the neighborhood for purposes already permitted shall be in no foreseeable manner substantially impaired or diminished by the establishment, maintenance, or operation of conditional use. That the establishment of the conditional use will not significantly impede the normal and orderly development and improvement of the surrounding property for uses permitted in the district. That adequate utilities, access roads, drainage, and other necessary site improvements have been or are being provided. That adequate measures have been or will be taken to provide ingress or egress, so designated, designed to minimize traffic congestion in the public streets. And that the conditional use shall conform to all applicable yard area regulations of the district in which it is located. So again, I think the things that you want to look at are what might set this apart, because you're setting a precedence. So if you're setting a precedence, do you have something that you can point to that this property may be different than other properties that come before you? So with that.
What is this thing in here, excuse me, from Rex Dodd?
What?
Rex
He was
Dodd,
opposed to it.
oh,
Because
okay.
he's a property
Okay.
owner within 200 feet.
That's very harsh, and so I just wonder where that's coming from. It is 59.
No, page number 5.
Okay, but with that, I mean, Will, do you want to come up and give some of
Yeah,
the more
so the
particular?
map that Jessica has up there kind of shows If the Rex is in that top right corner. It's a barn, you can't see it from the road when you drive by it because it's grown up so bad.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant. And the house that, by the way, let me introduce my daughter Riley, she's actually the one that's gonna put the manufactured home on there. Or is asking to, but we own the land, it's gonna be in this area, well, this area, sorry. I don't think if you measured it, he's within 200 feet, he's within 200 feet of the property line, but not.
This 209.
Yeah, the property lines where I've got it measured from.
Yeah, so he would be within 200 feet of that. You go back one. So on here, there's a little bit of discrepancy. This is the property we own. That's Rex. We also own this piece, which makes that total acreage 5.07. I think in the documents, it goes back and forth to 4.78 and the 5.07.
Yeah.
I'm not particular whether that little piece is thrown into this or not. Since it's road frontage, you may want to keep it stick built.
I mean, it's about 5
So,
acres.
yeah, it's about 5 acres, give or take a few, that's 0.29 acres. But going back to the photo, if you would. That's Road Street that runs on the right-hand side there in Dallas, it runs across the top on the north. Their entryway will be on Dallas Streets coming off, that's not a very heavy, traveled road, the only thing there is the county barn across the road. This is 10 acres owned by another family behind it. So, I mean, you're sitting here, everything around it's acreage. This has a tree line coverage. I don't know if y'all are familiar with that house. I don't think we're gonna hurt the value of that house.
Everything's included.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you look at those items that Cynthia talked about, number one, we're not doing anything to impede on the public health or safety or general welfare of the area. Number two, uses the values of enjoyment of other property in the neighborhood for purposes already permitted. Gonna be residential housing, for her, her husband and 3 children. It's portable, it's gonna be portable residential housing for them. Number three, the establishment of the conditional use will not significantly impede normal development. We own 5 acres there. Any development going on around it's gonna be us. And it's not gonna impede anything. I mean, if we were to ever sell it later on, it loses that right, so. That would go away. 4, adequate utilities and access roads, all that's there. 5, the adequate measures have been, will be taken to provide ingress egress. They're gonna come in off Dallas Street, like I said, that's not a heavy traffic area, so that's not gonna be a problem.
Most of this will be paid.
Yeah, and the conditional use shall conform to the applicable yard and regulations of the district in which it's located. Also, the answer to all those is good in all those conditions, in my opinion. There is a couple of things in the packet that I need to clear up on page 43. 43. Yeah. Item F, it says ownership of the property is not longer held by the applicant. So if we appliance, sorry. I own the property right now. The reason they don't own the property yet, they intend to buy it from me. But their banker who's sitting here wants them to buy the land and do the manufactured home at one time, the financing on the manufactured home, all in one package. So that it's real property when it's set. And they bought it all together in their down payment structure. So we would need some allowance there to transition it from me to them if we do this. I don't know what that looks like. But
Yeah,
if it needs to be written to them and not executed till the day of sale, maybe
yeah,
that's a
it
possibility.
might be, yeah, something like that, or,
Legal work that out.
yeah.
That's one, and then the other one is whether we're doing the 4.78 or the 5.07. Like I said, I don't care either way. I just want it to be clear in the paperwork so that later on down the line we know what it is. And
So going back to, for the, on that point, Will, can you go back to the,
Ma'am,
that one? Okay, so the 5 acres would include that little square at the top?
yes, yeah, so this is our west property line, but it was originally purchased. When we purchased it, we missed it in the survey. Actually, he did the survey and it just got left off, I think, or something. I don't know, something happened. but it's part of the rest of that, or we consider it a whole, all of that.
Okay.
But it does front Dallas Street. So I mean, if you came back and told me we wanna hold that back, that 0.29 acres back,
Yeah,
I would understand that because it fronts the street.
well, I think that would be probably preferable from the city's perspective, and then, you know, it's still. I think, you know, for your part, I mean, what I think from the city perspective, what sets this property apart is that it is a larger acreage. So 4 point whatever it is, 4.7, you know, versus a smaller piece of property where you do have a lot of uses around. So I think that that's something that you guys could point to if you decided to support this, that would say, okay, here's a criteria that might be different, because you're not setting yourself up for having to approve every single one that comes in here.
How long have you owned that property, sir?
Good question, 3 years roughly. The other item that we need to discuss, there's a clause, and I can't remember what page it's on, forgive me, it says that the home will be set within 90 days of execution. We, when Riley and TL talked to Marathon, it's a custom built home, so they won't start it until you sign the contract and you say you're gonna buy it. Well, we didn't wanna do that, not knowing if we had a place to put it. And, so we were waiting for this hearing to execute that. They say 60-day turnaround, they asked for a 90-day allowance. So we might be cutting that 90 days real close on getting it set. But part of that depends on our banker.
Well, I think you guys could make that recommendation with recognizing that and providing that. If that's
Austin, is that a mobile home or a modular home?
It's manufactured.
Manufactured.
would have to be
What's the current zoning on this property right now?
single family 7.5.
Well, we.
It is, okay, and is it, and then the property across the street as well is single family 7.5? The yard for the county?
So, if you.
I think you know that a while ago. Yeah. We go back to the zoning man, the one we showed. You go back, that right.
Commercial.
It's commercial as well.
So that's South Miller on that west side there. Cause I know on that R 14263, there used to be a trailer house there or whatever.
Is it the same in Cornwall?
Well,
Be right here.
To the north is, to the north is
This
the
is
yard.
Rose Street. It's
Yeah,
on this side.
Dallas Street.
because this property, yeah,
If you're coming in, it's.
The county yard is,
The county
no,
yard
it's not
is-
directly across
Yeah.
from it.
Well, it is, but.
It's known for the same thing,
Stone,
7.5.
So I guess my question to you is, what if we allowed this, then we would open up that doors for other people to do it, but because it's secluded, because it's on bigger acreage, would that protect us in the long run to say no to somebody else that had a smaller
Yes.
acreage where you have
Yeah,
residential houses? Is that,
yes.
so we would be protected?
Yeah, that's why he's going for the conditional permit as opposed to a
Well,
rezone.
the condition that I'm looking at is the fact that it's right there up against the yard there, and it has a lot of big trucks and such coming through that area, which is not exactly residential there.
It's commercial across the street.
No,
residential.
residential thing.
That's all residential.
According to the color chart. And through that conditional use permit, that person, if they're granted this, what if they want to go in there and make a trailer park? I don't think you're,
It's a different zoning request.
It's a, yeah.
Yeah.
so you're not.
Manufactured home.
Okay,
You'd have to come there and totally make that into its own entity. It's
Yeah.
a little development.
okay,
And there'd be other stuff that they would have to do.
okay, so that might happen, okay,
We have no.
okay, I didn't think,
This is for a single entity.
okay.
Good deal.
Is there any more questions?
JB, I don't want acres.
Nor does Peg us.
No.
Any more questions? Okay. If I can I get a motion to move to approve recommending approval of ordinance 2026-13 granting a conditional use permit for a manufactured home and property known as 309 Dallas in single family 7.5, the zoning district.
Do we have to clarify the line?
You're gonna have to, hold on that motion, I think you need to, account for the fact, let me get down, back up.
90-day thing
For the fact that the property is, you know,
in someone else's name.
yes, I mean, is because it's in transition. Due to the fact that the mobile home is being, built, it's custom built.
This is this immediate family?
Yes, my daughter.
But you still need that in there, so it's clear.
So on the clarification, we just need to extend that 90-day period on the conditional use permit. Because they're saying it possibly could be as long as 90 days, but.
So
have no
those
guarantee.
two need to be mentioned in that. But the ownership will be, I mean, it's in transition right now.
Allowing that ownership be transferred to, what's the full name?
GL Rally
Sparkman. Okay. Let me,
Really think from parliamentary, I think you can amend the amendment, adding those two things.
Yeah,
okay, on the motion that I just read out, I'm gonna make an amendment to clarify something that we, in the transfer, that we allow up to 90 days of ownership will be transferred in from the current owner to another owner, which is gonna end up being Sparkman. So I need a motion to,
Approve it.
approve that.
Extending it.
If that makes any sense.
Extending it to how many days?
90, did you say 90 days?
It's already at.
Okay, so let's do 120.
That should be fun.
Okay.
I don't think it's gonna take that long.
But at least it gives you some room.
It all depends on our banker.
Okay,
So can I get a motion, please?
Row.
Okay, second,
I'll second.
okay, all in favor? Aye. Okay. Okay, the next item.
No, you just approved the amendment to the, you amended the motion. So now you need to vote on the motion still.
Okay, thank you, boss.
But they-
No. It's
Yeah,
No,
because
it was-
it goes in order. In parliamentary procedure, you amended the motion to add the additional days.
Oh,
So you
well,
have to approve it, and then you can approve the motion, and then it's all approved.
So now I'm gonna go back to that and
okay,
ask,
well, technically, okay, let me just clear something up. I hear what you're saying, but we're not actually, we don't operate by Robert's Rules of Order.
Okay,
So, just FYI. So, again, the person that made the motion originally,
roll.
okay, you agreed to the two caveats essentially. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and the second agreed,
Yes, so
Okay.
gentlemen,
and then we'll call for the vote.
Yes,
for
yes,
that.
all in favor, aye.
you could have followed Robert.
You said you were just gonna stare, you weren't gonna talk. You already violated the procedure.
Just trying to help them.
Okay, the next item. Discussion and any action regarding amending chapter 22 of the zoning of the Breckenridge Code of Ordinances by amending table 8, general business retail uses to add vape shops as a use which is prohibited in all zoning districts, and amending section 30 of definitions to establish a definition for vape shop.
Okay, so Commissioners, the city has several vape shops open throughout the city over the past year or so, and now has a proliferation of these types of uses, as well as concerns expressed by citizens over the same. The city is proposing amending the chapter 22 of the zoning Breckenridge Code of Ordinances by the amending table 8, general business retail uses, to add vape shop as a use, but then it would be prohibited in all zoning districts, as well as amending section 30 of the definitions to establish a definition for a vape shop. So to be clear, if you guys support this, then you're recommending to the city that you add the use of a vape shop, but you don't permit it anywhere. That means the existing vape shops that are in town are legal and non-conforming. They can continue to operate until they change the use. If they change the use, then they would no longer be able to operate.
But there'll never be another one that'd be allowed in.
Correct,
City.
correct.
Okay, this should be pretty easy.
We have to.
Yes, we do. Okay, so if I can I get a motion?
I have some questions.
Oh, yes, sir.
Sorry. So by doing this, there's no going back like we just did previously. Can somebody go in and,
Permit, the conditional permit.
yes,
You could,
okay,
I mean, but that would be another process, it'd be
correct.
another public, I mean, we'd have to advertise it, like this was advertised. And it would have to be advertised, it would have to go through P and Z, and then it would have to go to city commission.
Okay, and I'm assuming if we did this, there's no repercussion on the city or us for, I mean, if you get too many Mexican food restaurants, if you wanna do that to them, I mean, surely.
Well, again, I mean, that is part of it, yeah, I mean, that is part of it, so I mean, it's, you have to think about that.
But then on the flip side to that, if I'm understanding your conversation, I'm trying to interject. The conditional use, if somebody wants to come in here with a vape shop with this in play, we could debate, like, I don't want to see one that's across the street from a church, down the street from a high school.
No, I agree.
So especially right on our main thoroughfare.
Well, I think what he's saying
We could-
is,
we
are
could
you
make
saying
it 86.
there's a precedence about, you know, if I'm understanding your question, private property rights is what I hear you saying. Now, because we are already allowing them, I mean, we're not precluding them totally. So and there's several in town. You are saying no new ones. I think too, without getting into a lot, I mean, you could always come back and say, okay, maybe it just needs to be in industrial area zone, which means it would only be out on the loop. So, I mean, that would be, I mean, that's another action that you guys would have to take, but if that's something that you would want us to explore, we could do that. But right now, I mean, you're saying no other ones right now. But you already have, I mean, we have what, 4?
Six.
6.
I haven't been let.
Still, I guess my question more was no repercussion to the city if we do something like that.
No,
Okay.
I mean, no, I would not be, yeah.
Well, I mean, if we lose, I mean, there's a lot of people that obviously participate in purchasing some of these products. I mean, there's money coming in from them, come to the city as well. There ought to be some way that we can allow them to exist in some form or fashion, like you said, in the industrial area or in commercial, somewhere, some fashion. I would think that I have no desire, I don't like them, I don't want to see them at all, but I think there's people in the community that do use this vape shops.
Well, I think the concern, and I would agree, and that's why if you would like us to bring that back, I mean, you can take action today on this and you can bring it back. Or you could just say, well, just bring it back and, but we want to allow it in industrial, we would re-advertise it. You could take no action, that would be an action that you could take, and just allow it in industrial. What I would say, some of the concerns we've heard, and in fact, we got a letter today, or yesterday, Friday, what is today?
Monday.
So Scott's is last
Friday.
Sounds like double six and easy mark. Wouldn't that be affected because
they're legal non-conforming.
their primary business other than the
Right.
vape?
And the 6 that we do have, were notified of this change.
Right,
Or
they're
of
legal
this meeting,
non-conforming.
not changed.
They're not precluded from continuing to operate. Some of the problems and some of the questions and some of the concerns that we've had from community members have been the proximity to schools.
Particularly that municipal we've got.
Right. Which it's here, there's nothing that can be done about that.
That's the letter that you got, okay.
So also for education purposes for us as commissioners. So if we go ahead and we do a motion to approve as written, can we add a caveat to it for you to bring back what we discussed where it could?
It wouldn't be a caveat to the motion. You would
Okay.
just be directing me to, okay, now let's bring it back to allow it in
Industrial.
and then we would have to we would have to advertise it. We would bring it back to you.
But we can't vote on this currently as written.
You can, or you can
I'd
not.
like this in place so we don't have any more.
Okay.
That's my 2 cents. And then, but I would like to ask to bring it back to us to where we have some say.
Allow it in
Yes.
industrial.
I don't want them downtown.
lighted, okay. Industrial, light industrial,
Well, I don't know what you call it, and I don't know how you zone it, anywhere on the outskirts of down, but you got.
Well, there's a downtown district there,
Yeah.
it's from,
Yes.
Amos
to
to,
do it by zone, so I would and staff, we would recommend that you would allow it in industrial.
Okay, so that's a verbiage we need to use, you need to bring it back to us for a motion, right? No?
We would need a motion to do that.
No, you would just,
No.
you would just direct staff to
Okay.
do that.
Because this is just only a start.
I just make the questions. I don't want to see them 100%, but at the end of the day, we have to ask those questions just so.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people watching. We gotta do our part and make sure that we ask for.
I agree, and it does bring tech dollars in.
If they wouldn't be here, we wouldn't use them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't want
And
to see
these
them.
people over here are open from 7 days a week, all hours, I mean, there's people there all the time, so. Somebody's over there shopping. So can I get them, is there any more questions? Okay. If I can I get a motion to approve the recommending approval of ordinance 2026-14, amending chapter 22 of zoning of the Breckenridge Code of Ordinances, amending a table 8 of general businesses, retail uses to add vape shops as use which is prohibited in all zoning districts, and amending section 30 as defined as definitions to establish a definition for vape shops. Can I get a motion? Roll. Can I get a second?
I would second it.
Les, a second. All in favor?
Yes.
Aye. Aye.
Is that all?
No.
No?
No. You opposed? Opposed. Okay. So we've got 4 approval and 1 opposed.
All right. During the meeting.
Call for adjournment.
Just like a Bible study. Motion to adjourn at 6:20. Thank you for your patience, Rob.
No,
Wish you well.
happy to be here. Appreciate everyone listening.
Okay, tomorrow.
Yes, I'll be back tomorrow.
City Commission meeting tomorrow.
Yes. Similar format to this, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
He said do the whole thing.
I know it's a long agenda, but if you want to leave when you're posted, that's fine.
I got nowhere to be.